remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So keep it locked here on African Kona.
Indeed. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where and when you're watching us from. My name is Mutadhi wa Shirawanyaga, Mujiro wa Baria Karigithi, na Gwihoka Kumongogo Shodhiria Shumaga Kuisa. Today is a beautiful day, the 15th day of November 2023. I hope all of you guys are good. Whoever is watching us live and those who will watch this later, I hope you're well. Here in Kenya or in Nairobi, it's very cold, and this is the weather for two. And I'm sure there are some people like Madubi, they said they do not want the other part. So I don't know what they'll do, what Pandegani. But either way, it's good to be here. It's good to be here again on African Corner. And just to reiterate what we said, there's a difference between African Corner and State of the Continent. This is African Corner, where we get to discuss about social issues in Africa. And today is our episode 34 or our 34th episode, and we'll be talking about youth run and led organizations, specifically in Tana River. That's why we are dubbing our show tonight as a Tana Affair. So Tana River County is well represented tonight. And before we get into the conversation, I like to ask my guests to introduce themselves. I'm going to start with Madubi Robert. Madubi, you're not new here, so maybe you can introduce yourself. And you remember you had an assignment that Natasha gave you some time back. I don't know kama umekuja uko umefanya ama will send you packing. But anyway, Madubi, please introduce yourself.
Hello guys, good evening. Happy to be here. My name is Madubi Robert from Tana River County. With Badili Tana Initiative. Badili Tana Initiative is a CBO working on societal affecting issues. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Thank you very much, Madubi. We'll be getting deeper into what Badili Tana is. But Madubi, assignment unakumbuka?
Yeah, about the assignment, the conversation was on climate change. Yes. And there was some vocabularies that were supposed to be translated to Kiswahili. Nilitembea nikaenda paka Tanzania, nikaconsult mababu vigogo wa Kiswahili, wakasema kwa sasa wanafanya utafiti wa maneno mapya ya Kizungu ambayo lazima yalikuwe translated kwa Kiswahili. So kwa sasa you guys hold on, but unaweza tohoza kama carbon, it's carboni. So unatohoza tu Kiswahili na neno linakubali lenyewe. So but maneno yakija, nikipata document hayo maneno, I'll share with you guys.
Nashukuru. Kwa hivyo unasema kwa kifupi haya ni maneno ibuka, bado yanaibuka,
lakini unaweza tohoza kama carbon, carbon nasema tu carboni. And people will get it.
I hope once you get more information on that, you'll be telling us. We also have Maro Amani from Tana We Trust. Maro, maybe you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself to us tonight, and anything that you'd like to share with us before we get into the conversation.
Hello guys, I'm Maro Amani from Tana River County. As you've been told, I'm working for Tana We Trust, which is a community-based organization registered under the State Department for Social Protection. I believe you'll hear more about us as we proceed with the conversation.
Yeah, thank you, Maro, for being here together with Madubi. Madubi, once you're here, I hope today we'll be also going home with some assignments. Now, Madubi, before we went live, actually, well, at the background, pale nyuma kwa studio, we were talking about youth-run, youth-led, youth and led organization. And before even we get deeper into the various organizations represented here, Maybe Madubi, you can just break that down for us. Mimi, when I hear the word youth run organization, I know this is an organization that is run by the young people. When I hear youth led, I hear it is led by the organizations. But there is a difference. Most of our youth run organizations, youth led organizations, are not really run by young people. They are just the frontier. But whatever is happening in the background is just a bunch of, okay, let me be politically correct. It's just some old people who are not young people or are not youth, and they're the youth. So Madubi, what is the difference between youth run organization, youth led, na utuambie wewe unasimama katika mrengo gani?
From my side, what I can say, it's more about the percentage of the members or the people that constitute the organization. So mostly when you say youth-led, it means that the youth are 50 plus 1 in the organization. So it means they are moving things. They are running the implementation of projects in the decision-making process. They have a say. But again, there is another percentage which is maybe less than 50% that is constituted by people above the age group, youth. So that youth-led.
And what happens to purely youth run and unajua sasa I come from the mountain na hii jina run and led what happens, what about sasa zile organizations or companies or startups that are just purely young people? Your take.
I said one thing. I said what is what constitutes the major group, and you may find that in an organization they are all youth. It's also youth-led because at the end of the day they do implementations, they do the decision making, they are running things behind the scenes and of course to the public. But you might find an organization, a bigger NGO, putting the condition of it must be youth-led. So it means youth have to be many in that organization, or the faces that are running program should be the youth. So it's only language, but it's the same thing. There is no youth-led and youth-run organization, just youth-led. But again, there are some people, for example, you might find that an organization is youthful, like everyone is a youth, but the board of directors, or say the board of governors, are old people, or they are above the youth bracket.
Yes,
it's also youth-led. Yeah, but again, it depends with the condition of the organization. So it's if it's a youth organization, it means everyone has to be youth. But again, if it doesn't have that aspect in the constitution or in its registration form, then it's not in the category of youth-led. It's only that the people running the program are youth. That's what I can say. So it's youth-led organization.
Yeah, I hope now people are getting the difference of what you're talking about. And I want to say, Madubi, that today, without fear of favor or contradiction, that we have we have youth-led or youth-run organizations here. Anyway, moving forward, Maro Amani, you tell us about Tana We Trust. Let us get into the details. What is your position maybe in Tana We Trust? And maybe just tell us briefly, what is Tana We Trust? What is the meaning behind the name? How did you come about the name, and why specifically that name? Basically, tell us what is Tana We Trust. Amani. I don't know if Mani can hear her. Okay. I think we'll have to get back to Amani. Madubi, I think we'll have to get back to Amani and maybe jump over to Badili Tana and just now get into details about that. What is Badili Tana? Why did you specifically choose, Badili Tana, the name, the origin? Give us a history of Badili Tana Initiative. And maybe you can tell us also what is the role that you play there. Are you running, leading? Yes.
Thanks again. So Badili Tana is a CBO, community-based organization that is based in Tana River County, Tana Delta sub-county.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Trying to see if our connection is still all right. Just a minute. Madubi, are you still there? For a minute, I lost you. You are okay, and then I lost you.
Yeah. So
yeah, maybe you can just start from the top.
So Badili Tana is a community-based organization that is running program in Tana River County, Tana Delta sub-county. And the genesis or the origin of the name comes from the theory of change that we were looking at the situation of Tana River and the statistics in terms of the societal affecting issues. So we thought that now it's high time we change those statistics. For example, from education, from issues about FGM, issues about early pregnancies, issue about drug abuse, all those kind of stuff, issues about disaster. So we are So we are looking at a situation how we can change these statistics and to see maybe we can change from maybe worse to good, then to better. So the word itself is change, but again na Uswahili kidogo ndani ndio badili ikaingia. Badili is change.
Yeah.
So what
Kwa
are we
hivyo mlikuwa
changing?
tuna maoni ya kubadilisha.
Ya kubadilisha Tana River. Yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
So and maybe why maybe you can get a little bit deeper utuambie why was it really important for you? Why were you not really satisfied with the status quo? You now as a person, as in the status quo or the status that was then there in Tana River, ukasema hii mambo inafurahishi. Why was it pertinent to you as an individual?
To remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So keep it locked here on African Kona. Here to remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So keep it locked here on African Kona. Here to remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So keep it locked here on African Kona. Here to remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So keep it locked here on African Kona. Here to remind you on African Kona.
Yeah, so Madubi, I think there was some network issues there. You know, you are talking about why was it important for you to, decide to Badili Tana. Wewe sasa as an individual.
It came from more of a personal story, looking at the whole county of Tana River and looking at where I came from and the journey I went through up to where I am now. And the vulnerability of young people, of children, of the women, and the county itself. So, and the statistics itself, they were disturbing me every time. Like statistics come about Kenya, then regions, you see that we are drilling, we are chini kule. And if you look at our education performance nationally, it's not favoring. If you look at how our county is in terms of disaster, we are faced with drought, floods, everything is coming. So like right now it's flooded. And after these floods, when El Nino is over, then you go again to face drought. If you look at the statistics about the girl-child early pregnancy and early marriage is high. If you look at poverty level, it's around 76%. So I was looking at the county itself and the people involved. So it's came to me that it's time now to start. I start doing small. Like for example, if it's about education, what can we do? What can we do to change the case? So for me, it was, can we talk to the school-going children to see the essence or the importance of education and to feel motivated so that we have a good transition from high school to university? Because I can tell you, life starts there. You can go to high school, but if you don't do good to go to a college or a university, then we have as a group of people who are just within the villages.
Yeah.
So I was looking at a situation where we can motivate ourselves, and it's good that it started within us, not with other people from outside the county coming to tell us that education is important. So with education now, the aspect of mentorship, to do mentorship in schools, now to do the mentorship in villages. So that came to be. If you look at how we relate with each other in terms of human-to-human relationship, we are always on conflicts. Like we had these conflicts in 2012, and internally we have conflict because of resources. So how can we best preach peace so that people understand that I have to take care of what your business or what you're doing, so that again it benefits me on the other side. For example, the big challenge we're having is that we have a group of county members that are farmers and others are pastoralists. So you find that a situation where a cow just missed the way and goes to someone's shamba, then things happen. Like people start fighting because of a decision of a cow that decided, now I saw green maize, I have to go eat. So how again can we try to come together to build that a peaceful connection, that we will have a peaceful county that can accommodate investors so that we can go forward. So for me, it's about the statistics and the situation, and of course the comparison with other places. Yeah.
You're saying about a decision that a cow made, and now human beings are blame. And as you have mentioned that, and I remember I was talking to one of your friends and also one from Tana River. I don't know what's the Tana River naitwa aje? Tana, Kenya is a Kenyan. Tana
Yes,
River.
it's
Okay, I don't. Yeah?
Tanarian. Tanarian.
Okay,
Tanarian.
is that
Tanarian.
Tanarian? And
Yes,
he told
we
me
are
there's
Tanarian.
also issues of religion. There's a lot of religion disparity, and it is
Yeah,
so visible that you can
yeah,
go to a place and you see, by the way, there's a demarcation that these sides are Muslim, these sides are Christians, but you're going to get back to that
yeah,
conversation. I can see Maro Amani is back. Maro, I don't
yeah.
know if you can still hear us, or you can get us. We want to know, what is Tana? Tana we trust. Why specifically Tana we trust? Why are you trusting so much? Maybe you can tell us that.
Okay, so Tana We Trust is a community-based organization that is youth-led, registered under the State Department for Social Protection within the Kenyan law. And mostly what we're dealing with do have three key pillars. Number one is on health, environment, and education. Basically, we have mentorship sessions, yeah, and then tree planting activities on matters of health. We do basically mostly on issues on advocacy and spreading the knowledge when it comes to mental health and sexual reproductive health and rights for all.
And maybe you can also give us a story or the background story of Tana We Trust. Maybe you can also tell us, I don't know if you've mentioned the position that you're in Tana We Trust. Maybe just give us a background story of how it came to existence and why, what was the reason behind it?
Okay, so as Badili has stated, it's all about the statistics and the situation on the ground. So what made us come together as youth, it was basically on the statistics. As you can see, allow me to quote the Kenya Demographic Health Survey that was conducted nationwide. When it comes to Tana River, issues on family planning and contraceptive, we have 39% of women aged between 15 to 49%. 15 to 49 years, they have unmet needs. So these are among the things that made us have a sit-down talk and decided to work on forming like a group whereby it will be registered under whereby it will be registered as a community-based organization, and we'll try to deal with these challenges, because when we see the name Tana We Trust, it's all about us. We have to believe in us, because we are the one who are experiencing the problems, and we are the one who are supposed to come up with the solution for the problems that we're experiencing. And currently, I'm the director and also the co-founder of Tana We Trust.
Okay, what I'm hearing is that most likely that the challenges that you guys are facing is similar. Madobi, what Maro Amani is saying from Tana We Trust and what you're saying from Badili Tana Initiative, the challenges are more of the same. And maybe we can just ask ourselves, how did you guys get there? How did Tana River get there? What are we going to say it's the politicians? How did you guys, or Kenya as a whole, because the challenges that are across the country and even in Africa as a whole, how did we get here?
Pardon the question, Ashira.
So what I can say,
Yeah.
I'm happy the new constitution came, and devolution came, because at least we can say we are better off. But I can talk of what happened previously. So we are marginalized, that's what I can say. And the issue of national government back then, before 2010, controlling everything, made us remain back. For example, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of administratively, so many things. So before resources are taken from Nairobi to Tana River, you find that zimeishia hapa katikati. And you can see that many things, investments na nini huwa zinaletwa na good infrastructure, good institutions. So tumebaki nyuma kwa sababu wakati kabla new constitution, the government was far from us and our population also ilikuwa inachukuliwa ni kidogo. So unapata resources zinaenda kwa population yenye watu wako wengi, na Tana River namba yake ilikuwa kidogo. So what I can say is that ni kwamba watu walikuwa nyuma wakati huo, walikuwa nyuma kwa sababu serikali haikuwa na direct link ama direct connection na watu. Hata ukiangalia mashule, ukiangalia barabara zilikuwa ziko nyuma tu. Saizi wakati wa county government maybe ndo unaona kuna shule kidogo zinafanyiwa ujenzi, maybe barabara kidogo county government intervenes to do maram roads and some tarmac roads in the villages. So we are better now than before devolution. Yeah.
Okay. So devolution was helping. So what you're saying, basically, the government had something to do with this. You know, the government always has something to do with people's
Yeah. It contributed. For me, I can say it contributed because focus huwa mostly inaenda kwa mahali penye watu wako wengi.
Yeah.
So if you go to Tana River right now, apart from the Lamu Malindi road that was just constructed a few years ago, hakuna barabara ingine national government ilikuwa imetengeza ambayo ni nzuri. So barabara zote zilikuwa ni mbaya. Back then before devolution ilikuwa ni serikali kuu ndio inaleta miradi, maybe through the member of parliament or through its own initiative. So unapata kwamba pia investors wanakuja mahali ambapo pia infrastructure iko mzuri. So again we are looking at how agriculture was being affected because the roads are bad and you find a farmer with few tons of mangoes. He can't or she can't move them to the market, maybe in Mombasa or Malindi. So they go bad. Then hiyo circle tu ya umaskini inabaki tu circle ya umaskini. If you come to education, unapata kwamba shule zilikuwa, but again schools are not just built for schools. Good teachers na nini, so kulikuwa na challenge nyingine ya kubaki nyuma. Other contributors are insecurities, where we are having some issues za insecurity, lakini sasa at least saizi kuko sawa. So back then contributor mkubwa alikuwa serikali kuu. That's what I can say.
So okay, I hear you now, but one thing that I'm learning is that things are not easy as Madubi, you're making it seem very easy, and I understand this might be a very, very hard affair. How I have learned one thing, that setting up something in this country is not easy. Actually even getting the registration to be done is not a really easy process. Maybe how has the process been for you? And before you answer that, I don't know if Maro is getting me, and he can also tell us how has the process been, so that Badili Tana can be whatever it is right now, so that Tana We Trust can be whatever it is right now. How was the process?
So is me or Amani? For me, what I can say, it has never been easy because again, in terms of registering an organization, you have to go processes from the chief up to the social service office. Again, you have to give all the documents, the purpose of the organization, who are the members, what is your aim, what do you want to do, all those things. So challenges at first were finances to open the organization. pesa ilikuwa inahitajika nzuri kwa social service, but for what was in for me is that we have to do this. And in Kenya right now, you just can't stand. You can't just wake up one day and say, "I want to do this." You have to You have to be legal to do these programs and everything. So we had to mobilize some funds from friends and family, of course, and the members, up to where we are now. Again, running programs with zero funds because it's non-profitable. So we have again to look at which programs can we call upon people to give, maybe to give something for the program to go, or which programs can we run with zero funding. So before you get funding, you have to be seen that you are capable of doing something, and you're capable of running a program, or you're capable of running a project. And of course, the program that you are running is impactful, and it shows change within the community. So it has not been easy. You can ask anyone who is ready to open or willing to open one. He or she will tell you, but it depends with the magnitude of the organization. There are youth organization, there are women organization, there are CBOs, association, and NGOs. So it depends with what you want to open.
So I'm hearing you saying membership. Maybe one of the things that has made your journey easy to where you are is the membership. How do one get to become a member of Badili Tana? Lazima nikuwe a Tanarian, as you have said, or me from the great county of the people of the mountain of Jerry can be part, or you're in Nairobi, you want to be part. How do you become a member?
I guess our stories are different. What I can say, Washera, what you are doing is differently from what we are doing. And our stories, our inspiration are different. So it's not because one wants to join, but what exactly drives you to feel like you want to be part, or you want to do something like that. And there are so many things that someone can do. So with Badili Tana is that it has a closed membership. A closed means we have those members that were there from the word go, and we are not taking in new members. What we are doing is having volunteers who can work with us, and if they are passionate with what we are doing,
okay,
and
maybe you tell us, Madubi, before, sorry to cut you short. So what defines a member? What do you mean by a member, and what is also a volunteer? What is the difference?
The difference: members are paid a membership fee at the beginning of or registering the organization. That's the member. So initially, the people who came together to open the organization become the founding members of the organization. But again, we have someone who saw the program, and she or he got interested in being part of the programs. So they come in as volunteers. But it depends again with what they can offer, because it's not about you just coming in because you're doing programs. This is an organization, and not a chama. Yeah.
See, chama, I hope people are hearing. Maybe unavunja watu roho walikuwa nataka kuja Tana. Maybe a lady saw that maybe wale wanaume wa Tana maybe watamuoa. Ama the men wanted to come there and get some ladies. Sasa umewambia si chama.
No, it's not in a bad way. Like
we understand, we get it, because there are some certain rules and regulations that people have to adhere to. And I think I also, the people who are there understand, why the membership is in that manner. So you have programs in Badili Tana. Maybe Madubi can also tell us what are the programs that you have engaged in, you will engage in, and what are the kind of partners that you deal with, or you're also looking forward to partner with in future.
So what I can say about Badili Tana is that we are guided by the theory of change. What we want to do is change, 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 change. If we have this statistic of many girls falling victims of early pregnancies, we want to talk to them to change that. So Badili Tana is focused on the Sustainable Development Goals. We have one is good health and well-being. We have quality education. We have gender equality. We have decent work and economic growth. We have reduced inequalities, climate action, peace and justice, and strong institution and partnership. So all those SDGs gives us the programs we are running now. So the programs we are running are four. We have a program on climate action that is more of creating awareness on climate change and climate finance to the youth. So what basically we are doing in this is like telling the youth there are so many opportunities around climate change. And the good thing now we are seeing how the president is driving that agenda of climate change. And be sure that on Monday 13th, so many millions of trees were planted. So imagine, where were those seedlings taken from? So people bought those seedlings, right? So it means if we young people invested ourselves in having a seedling center, or we have a nursery, then it means the government, every time they bring the issue of planting trees, they will buy from us. So that's the agenda of just changing the mindset of the youth, that don't stick to one thing, don't stick to maybe waiting to be employed. You can employ yourself. There is the issue of recycling plastics, bags and plastic bottles. So what again can the youth tap into to come up with an idea that generate money for them, so that again we shift from kukaa tu kwa mitaa, maybe doing drugs. So it changed. We are trying to create that awareness for the young people, just to see that this is something that they can do and change their life. So we have a program that is called MELP. MELP is basically mentorship, entrepreneurship, leadership, and peace. This covers all our issues that we are focused on, our thematic areas. The mentorship deals with schools. That runs from January until August there. For
By
the
schools,
first
you mean high schools, or what kind of schools?
High schools.
Yeah.
Yes, high schools. And we usually have small talks with primary schools. And also on the same mentorship, we have the Jali Dada program that is more village to village. So what happens after the students have closed schools and they're back to the villages? So again, it's a time that we can engage with them. That's why I have the Jali Dada, but I'll explain that later. So on entrepreneurship, we give trainings to the women and the youth. We call them economic empowerments, that giving them skills and knowledge on how to run a business, how to increase markets, how to invest. So those are the programs we are running on economic empowerment. On leadership, it's more about changing now the face, because hata statistics pia zetu zikitoka za leadership tunajipata tuko kule chini. So again, we want to breed a new leadership pool of young people. But again, we have to bring those trainings to the young people to see that it's high time we are guided by good values. We are guided by good direction. We just want to change Tana River, but we can't change Tana River from the top.
Internal closing.
We change Tana River from the bottom now, so that again, when we have these programs for like 5 years, 10 years. We see that maybe tomorrow we have Amani as the governor of Tana River, but again, he has gone through this change to see that he wants to do good to the people of Tana River. So that's why we are doing those programs now, and to see if we can change the case.
Here to remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So keep it locked here on African Kona. Here to remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So keep it locked here on African Kona. Here to remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So keep it locked here on African Kona. Here to remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday.
Yeah, Madubi, today, I don't know what is happening today, but we are experiencing a lot of network issues here and there, but I apologize for that. You know, the last time I got what your whole point when you're saying that one of the programs that you're engaged in now, you've had Jali Dada, I've had the one that you're talking about, the schools, going to schools and all that. But, you know, why specifically, you know, I've always been bothered with this. And I've asked Omar, I asked Omar, why do you people, especially from the coast, decide you are very selfish with the coast? What about the other part of the country, Badubi? What's happening?
For example, you have recently seen, I don't know if it's Citizen or NTV, it's Citizen, where they went to do the story of drug addicts and how things are. So let me ask you something. How was the situation in terms of seeing someone freezing, like automatically freezing, because he or she has used drugs for so long, or she's using hard drugs or using hard drugs? And this is affecting the coastal youth, is affecting the coastal people. That's why, if you remember, sometimes back, it was last year, I don't know last year, but one, that was it a CS or a PS came to the coast and said the problem with the coastal youth, they don't know English. So it's affecting us. So can we go home first and change before thinking about the whole country? Yeah, and you can see.
But Madubi, I like to challenge you, kidogo. You want to tell me these problems are just isolated to Tana River? You want to tell me Wasingishu does not have such similar problems? What about like Kipia County? Don't they have similar problems? For example, I understand and appreciate that, you know, Tana River has unique problems, but what about the rest of the country?
For example, I can tell you the story of Tana River.
Yeah.
Because I've been there. And Shira, you can tell us about the story of your county because you come from there. So unless I found someone who will share similar stories, then I cannot know. Unless I travel to those sites, I cannot know what they are going through. Yeah. And this thing have to be, you have to be so independent in this, because you can't be solving someone's problem and your house is burning.
Yeah, true.
So Tana River is home. I have to start there. So until when maybe I'll be running an NGO, then I'll think about putting programs in central Kenya, Garissa, maybe other counties. But again, for now, we have to change home. We have to change.
Yeah. They say charity begins at home, and you know what? How are the people there at home getting this? Are they recipient or are they hostile? How has been your experience dealing with the Tana River people? Once you're telling them, for us at Washira Speaks, we are very big or huge on mindset shifting. And I don't know if you guys also are there telling them, we need to badilisha this because the mindset might be a problem also. So how has it been for you now? For them, how has the recipient or the reception of Badili Tana be there at home?
Washira, what I can tell you, the stories that I'm giving you are not of personal stories. If you just make a call like our president does, if you make a call to someone from Tana River, he or she will share with you what is happening. And we have tried to see what is wrong, because the people who are chanting So you find a mother telling you, my boy doesn't want to go to school because his father has a motorbike, and the kid thinks that he will take the motorbike and start hustling with it.
Yeah,
that's mindset, and it's happening. So if we start a program of the mentoring or doing drug awareness or doing the economic empowerments, of course the community will accept it. And all our programs that we have done, the community have been very supportive, starting from the local leaders, the administrative staffs. They have been open to this because it's time someone does something. So if I have to do something to change and I get the support from my people, it means I have to continue doing. Yeah. So ni katika hali ya kumwambia pengine mzazi, tukiongea na mtoto wako anaweza badilisha maono yake jinsi anavyoona pengine elimu ama kufanya mambo mazuri kwa jamii ili kujinufaisha yeye ama kunufaisha jamii. So it's all about everyone is willing to change, and people are very, very responsive about it, because the program that we ran, we had a program called GISRA. GISRA is Joint Initiative for Strategic Religious Action. It's more on the peace aspect of religion, that people will tolerate each other in terms of religion and understand each other. And we had, right now we have a pool of young people who associate or interact not in the grounds of religion, or not maybe thinking that this is come from Muslim religion or this is a Christian. And we have religious leaders who are supporting this initiative, and we can see there is a change, and people are willing. Sometimes we stay for 1 month, we don't do program, or a few weeks, then people ask, you guys are not doing programs, you come back to the ground. So you see, people are happy about it. So the programs that we are running are more of the people than us. Yes. Yeah.
I what you're saying, I think from what I hear now, it is actually working. It's like I'm hearing some success stories from your end. I wanted you to highlight some success stories, but I'm hearing it as you're answering the questions. But maybe you can also tell us the challenges that have been there, despite what you have mentioned briefly. And I want you to look at it in two ways. Yeah? In this manner. One, the challenge of running of a youth run and led organization, and also now the challenges that are specific to you, especially in Tana River there. What are the challenges that are just specific that you have been facing as you are trying to Badili Tana? Or sorry, that is not correct actually. As you're trying to Badilisha Tana. Yeah.
The first challenge as an organization is more of funds, because there are some programs you can run with zero funds. For example, if I'm needed to go and talk to a group of young people who are kwa base wametulia, talk to them about drug abuse. That I don't have to write a budget for that. But again, kuna programs ambazo we have to use or get funds to facilitate them. For example, if you are going to a school that iko interior kwa kijiji, again we have to move either kutumia pikipiki ama gari, but again kuna challenge ya barabara haziko mzuri. So challenge ya funds iko kwa any organization ya yenye ina raniwa na youth ambayo haina external funding. So you might find that some members or the founding members wanaingia kwa mifuko yao just to facilitate to do a program. So that one challenge that imekuwa ikitupiga chenga sana. Another challenge, we have had this program that we were funded, and then we have our own other programs that we were doing. So the program went and ikaisha. So you find that the program that we were funded had the aspect of sitting allowances, or just if you call religious leaders, you give them something to facilitate their transportation or maybe meal. But with the other programs, whenever you call people, they'll ask you, do you guys have, is there money? Like, is there allowances? So you find that the community wants to be paid for them to benefit. So unapata unaweza kuwa umeita vijana, you want to have a talk with them, but then they'll ask you, is there allowances? So that has been a challenge in terms of, for us, in terms of running the programs that are basically initiated by us. Na imekuwa ikituchanganya sana. So that's another challenge. The issue of lead and REN is that unapata katika lead unaweza pata kwamba there are some people funding, there are some big people funding the youth that are doing the programs. So for them, they are better. So those organizations, maybe they were founded by someone who is still there and just don't want to let go the organization. So what he does, he looked for other avenues to kupata pesa, maybe sponsor or donor, then anapatiana programs to the youth leading the initiatives. So unapata kwamba they get money to do their program. So it's different from a youth founded and youth led and youth run organization. So that's another challenge. Then another challenge is that movement has been an issue, because you might find that there's some cases where we went somewhere and we were told security huko haiko sawa, because maybe of Al-Shabaab and everything. So we either cancel programs or we just go and come out very fast. So kuna hizo challenges za insecurity, but again katika acceptance ya community, not all the community member will accept what you're doing. We have been facing challenges za acceptance za watu kuona kwamba we are doing a good thing. Others say that we are doing this because we want money. But when we started Badili Tana, the aspect of money was not there. It was more of doing initiative that will change our community. So some challenges are more of administrative. You find that now you are growing and unapata kwamba kuna challenges kupata specialist wa kufanya maybe reporting, budgeting, finances na hizo vitu zote. So again, it's more of getting capacity building to see how can we grow and also deliver to what we are doing, and also to stand out and be known of keeping records and everything. So those are some of the challenges we're facing, but challenges are there. We can't run away from them. We have to move forward.
Yeah, you can't run away from them. And let us talk about something else you can't run away from, and that is the issue of age. what happens, especially to youth-run organizations, because it will get to a point where the people who are running it are no longer young. They are no longer youth. They are no longer in the youth bracket. So I don't know if you've had experience now for other organizations that have been there, led by young people who now grew older, and also because all of us we are in that journey. Maybe you can talk to us about the issue of time bound, of maybe specific youth organizations that are just specifically for the youth and led and run by the youth. But I understand Badili Tana is not only for the youth; it's just run and led by the youth. So maybe you can tell us briefly about the issue of time bound. What next for Badili Tana? Even in future, even when the people who are running it and leading it are no longer young people as they were. what what will paint the picture for us?
Washira, what I can tell you is time does not affect an organization alone. It starts with a person. Right now,
you have makes it better.
Yeah, right now you have the energy to run maybe or do these programs on Washira Speaks, but it will reach a time that your energy is diminishing and those kind of stuff. So what happens with that is like we have to find a way to like transition. Like what are you doing now, and what do you see the organization in either 5 or 10 years to come? That's the question. So that will I be able to be there until maybe 2033? Will I be still doing these programs on the ground, like personally? So yes, network again. So for me, it's more of the transition. It's more of the transition, and to just see how best can I see Badili doing what Badili does in the next 20 years, 30 years or so. So again, you have to have the empowerment strategy that you bring passionate young people, other passionate young people in the mix, to see that they are you're empowering them to do the programs that you are doing, but of course you're behind the scenes, like you're supporting if they need support. But again, Badili Tana is a CBO, so our dream is to grow big, to increase our programs, and maybe to change it to be an organization, an NGO, so that again we don't fall victim with time bound and see ourselves like we can't go beyond 35 running the organization. But it happens to many organizations. I've seen many youth-led organizations going mute or just disappearing just because people got tired or people got jobs somewhere. So what they are doing, they are not doing anymore. So those kind of stuff happen. They happen. But again, you must have strategies on how the transition work for you. Yes.
Yeah. I hope also when you're doing the transition, you'll still remember to maintain or put the youth who will be young, the youth then, the time to come, watakuwa wanaonekana pale, that there's still some energy flowing. But either way, I think it's really good, and I really like the idea of Badili Tana. I've known you guys now for a while, and it's also good to hear this direct engagement from you, despite the challenges that we are facing tonight of network issues. Also, we had Mani here from Tana We Trust, but the network imefanya ile kitu. But either way, we thank God. Wanasema heri nusu shari kuliko shari kamili. So
You're good.
I'm very
Kutoka
grateful,
Mombasa sasa.
Madubi, for you spending your time to come here and talk to us. We apologize for all the inconvenience of the network imeleta leo, but next time we will try to, improve pale popote wenye where we can. And with that, I'd like to wish everybody a wonderful time ahead. See you on Sunday as we do check what will be the state of the continent. My name is Motali Washirawanyaga. Ishine gereno siya mobi mubodi. Thayo, thayo, thayo.
Here to remind you on African Kona, we have a state of the continent and topics which are interesting to you. So catch us every single Wednesday and Sunday from 8